by Tyre Spot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tirespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the GallowgateShots YouTube channel and podcast. Now, those of you that are very aware of what's going on tonight will hear that it's me, Mark, hosting. But fear you not, Chris is still here.
Hi, everybody.
He's just feeling a little bit shy. We are also, unfortunately, joined by Decker. And Bestie's here. Welcome back, Stephen.
Thank you.
It's been a while since
I've been a couple weeks off, haven't I? Forgot about that. Oh, yeah.
Don't do this again. Remember last time you had been in Glastonbury and we heard of it
I don't mention the G word.
This time last week, lads.
Go for it.
This time last week, I was sat in a Burger King in the services outside of West.
That's nice. Thanks for that.
Oh,
so let's get on to the
I
football.
can't remember, it cost me 35 quid. Service station.
Was it good? Did you enjoy yourself?
The Burger King was great. Oh, it was nice, expensive.
What did you have?
I can't remember. It'd been a bacon XL. Whatever that is. I don't get Burger King often, so I'm not too sure what they all are.
Them all over.
I got like mozzarella, jalapeno bite things. And it was like late. I'd been in traffic for 6 hours by that point already, and I was still at Western Supermare. So I had 6 hours to go. So I just got loads of cans of pop and Monster and what do you call it? Coca-Cola. I don't like to try and it didn't work.
You definitely need to move further along this way as well.
He's fucked off. He's back in the corridor there.
So those that are watching will see we've had a little bit of a change around today, all in different seats. So hopefully Bestie sounds better in that seat.
Hopefully Bestie sounds better than he looks. I normally sound shit. So now I look.
You smell better anyway.
It's because you're closer.
Because I'm further away. Can I smell it?
I'm normally there. You're normally here, so I'm closer, Mark.
Well, you know.
It's because when like objects get larger, their masses increase as well. So that gravitational pull. With someone that well, me knew that we're starting to draw each other towards one another.
It's a beautiful moment.
It is.
So, as you can tell, it is pre-season, it is out of season, and we've got absolutely nothing Newcastle related to speak about.
I've got loads of Glastonbury.
So what that means is you have to send us loads and loads of questions tonight, but we've got a couple of little topics to get us going.
Well, loads.
We've got loads. I'm glad you have.
Well, I didn't watch last week because I was in Burger King.
What do you think about the goalkeeper situation at Newcastle United?
Don't get us started.
Did you not watch any of last week or even see?
No, I didn't see anything.
No, we just argued about the goalkeeping situation all night pretty much.
I think Pope's good. That Greek fella, I've seen Forest fans saying that they didn't think he was that great. I don't remember having seen him play at all. Who else? Oh, John Ruddy signed. I'm kind of glad about that because I used to watch him at Norwich, so I'm glad he's follows up here.
Remember at the time when I seen John Ruddy was when you said hello to John Lascelles, thank you, and I went the wrong way.
I didn't say hello to him.
Well, sorry, you just said thank you.
Thank you.
And I walked around the corner. I was like, "Oh, this is the Norwich players," and he come like right past us. He was humongous, like. And then that's when I came around and you had said, "I've just said thank you to Jamal Lascelles."
Like, might be one of the most embarrassing moments in your life, that
But the reason, they say that Eddie Howe likes to have 4 goalkeepers for training purposes, doesn't it? That's how he runs his drills. So I can't help but feel that the pool of goalkeepers that we have is a little bit weaker than it was last season.
Oh, don't stay down this rabbit hole.
That is exactly what I said multiple times, and Mark wouldn't have it.
I don't know much about the Greek fella, whose name I can't remember, so forgive us.
I think it's such a small sample size I've got with him, though, Bestie, because you're right saying that a lot of Forest fans were not overly impressed with him. Let's be honest, I brought Matt Sells in to help out.
Yeah.
He's done all
right.
Did all right.
Of course, I thought he was a bit lucky with Newcastle.
But then, where was he beforehand?
Benfica.
Apparently, he's highly rated at Benfica.
Yeah.
He had a £60 million release clause at one point.
60,
apparently.
Well, if anybody does want to know more about Newcastle United's goalkeeping situation, there is a special podcast that Mr. Wallace, you did.
I did, yeah. I done one all by myself last week.
You and all your mates, sir. But that's enough goalkeeper chat. We've got loads to be getting on with. And first things first, Gallowgate Shots in with the exclusives. Breaking down barriers, breaking the news, possibly breaking the law.
The fuck are you talking about?
We
Breaking down
did
barriers.
release.
We
I'm
took a
telling you.
couple of photos of some t-shirts. It's hardly.
This was
It's hardly the fucking
highly
belt.
confidential information that we acquired, shall we say. So yes, those of you that have been on socials will have seen this everywhere. The away shirt and third shirt, third shirt, it's definitely not shit, I think it's beautiful, were leaked by Gallowgate Shots. Christopher, thoughts?
Well, we knew what they were anyway, didn't we? But that was the first photo we've actually seen of what looks like actual shirts. Take us gone, yeah, like because you said we're breaking down
Just
barriers.
breaking down, but I thought about the election or something like that.
Lots of breaking.
Breaking down
Yeah,
barriers.
but I think it is the first time we've actually seen what we're guessing is. Well, we know for fine well that it's the shirt, the official shirt, the ones that you'll be able to buy from the club shop. You can tell when you zoom in that the material, you can tell it looks like proper. It doesn't look like when you DH gates where it's just flimsy shite. But it's like I said, there's no real news at the end of the day. Is it?
And they're not
what we're getting.
They're not my size 10s in that photo.
Aye.
Other people may think they are, but
I wonder why everyone thinks they're your feet.
I don't know. Maybe the skinny legs. I don't know.
Possibly.
No offense to your legs or anything, but
No, muscular legs.
I think I'm not a fan of the away one. I have to say, I'm not really.
How long that lasts?
I'm just not. Like, I don't know.
You said the green one was the worst thing I've ever seen about a year ago.
That is factual information. Yeah, it is factual. I don't like the collar on it at all, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, wear the white.
I still
On the burgundy one or
the burgundy one. Yeah. I don't like it at all. But the third strip is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Thing of beauty.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous, that mind. Yeah. You wear one now. It looks like they've got the kind of the fabric stripes on the shoulders.
Yeah.
But the away one, it's not a patch. The crest is like it looks a little bit like a home. Oh, that's not, the pro home.
The transfer sort of style.
It's weird because it's kind of neither here nor there in that regard for me. Like, but it looks great. I disagree with Derek completely. I think I think it looks.
Meta Derek Petrie.
I think it looks really good. I'd like to. When we did the thing a while ago, it was blue shorts, wasn't it? And red socks. I seem to recall when Scott.
It's got to be green shorts, doesn't it?
It's white. I think it's white.
It's nice. But then, so is the third kit all? I know it's all right, but is that all white as well? Then because then we've got. Oh, then we've got the contrasting shorts as well. That makes sense. But because
I think it's white socks.
That collar's dreadful. Like, I'm sorry, that's not good at all.
It's just your typical football collar these days, isn't it?
I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I'm surprised. I think we'll give you time. Give you time. Like Groney. It will.
He'll be loving it as soon as he sees it in the flesh or on a
It's always different when you see it on the players. I think. Like,
remember
the state of everyone when watching because we kind of knew. I'm pointing to the version of the new home shirt that we have. Yeah, everyone had seen that or an approximation of that kind of before the release video. It was, that's all right. And some people were a bit underwhelmed by it. It's a version of the 2001, 2003 shirt. And then that video came out and everyone was like, hang on a sec. Hang on. And it just totally shifts your perception of it. It'll be the same for the away shirt. We've kind of heard for a while now that like Darren Peacock's involved in the video. It's a little
So apparently the video and the production for the away one is better than the home one.
Well, it was shot, parts of it in Alnwick. I know someone who was involved with part of the shoot. And said like Janola was involved in it in Alnwick, and I think Shearer as well. Oh no, Shearer's a different thing, but still, it sounds like it's going to be kind of that's where your extra £35 are going for the pro shirt. It's going on the production for the and the CGI and the Harry Potter chain.
Do you know with the away one with the burgundy and blue one? Do you think it's more the fact that it's been done so recently?
Yeah.
Because I was the same way of thinking, but once I've seen it. I think I quite like it.
No, it's lovely. And listen, I know for a fact, right? When Bruno trots out and he's got that on, I'll want to buy it.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just saying on first thoughts of it is like we've just recently had one before. It's kind of been done. I don't like the collar on it, as I'll say again. But again, when I actually see it on the players and they trot out in it, I'll probably think it's absolutely lush. But again, comparing it to the third one. I mean, it's just night and day, in my opinion. I think that third one is that nice. It's absolutely perfect, that shirt.
I think the last few releases we've had, the third kit's been better than the away in quite a number of seasons.
I think that's fair to say. Yeah, I mean, I think all the Castore kits were pretty nice. The number 4 kit was probably the worst of the bunch there. But when you think back to the Puma ones, that the purple and black, the one that was kind of inspired by the Time Bridge, that was nice anyway kit.
I think that's only one of like recent times that I've bought on the Puma era. Like,
Oh, the purple one.
The
It was
purple
alright.
one,
No, I like that
It's
one.
nice shirt, that.
It was nice.
But I think we've had some like pretty poor ones as well. But I think the thirds, like you say, I'm trying to remember last season was the
Blue one.
Away, the blue one that was nice. Yeah. No, I think that Castle did a pretty good job for the most part.
And do we know the colour of the shorts yet?
yeah. So on the third one, the white with white socks. Then I'm sure on the burgundy and blue one, it's not cream out. If I remember right, they're white.
Just white, yeah.
The shorts.
Missed a trick there for me.
But was it the same the last time when Puma released it? They were white shorts as well, weren't they?
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
right.
So
wasn't
if
it?
it was a
Big feature
cream
on it.
collar, cream stripes, and the cream shorts, well,
I
then
said this
maybe
with Puma, didn't we?
That's
Say
all.
that you need, if you're going to go back to a retro, you need the same colours.
But Puma had the
Yeah.
gold, like the
That
gold
a gold
manufactured
Puma, yeah.
logo, and that. I think the crest was gold as well, wasn't it? In monochrome.
Scott's in the comments. Scott will confirm, but I'm pretty sure the burgundy and blue one was white shorts and I want to say blue and burgundy socks, but not hooped.
Because I know that in the FIFA mock-up thing that he did, it was blue, the shorts.
Oh,
Blue-
I'm lying.
blue
Yeah,
shorts on
just
the
said
away
blue
kit.
It
shorts,
was
yeah.
different to the
I've got them on my phone. But
What?
What? Blue shorts.
blue shorts.
Blue shorts. Bit of blue.
What with the burgundy?
Yeah.
Well,
He's not happy, is
getting
it?
worse. Getting worse.
He's not happy.
You can't have blue shorts.
You,
with that.
you weren't happy because it was a copy earlier on. Now you're happy because it's different.
Burgundy socks with
No.
blue tops.
Well, no, it's burgundy and blue tops, isn't it?
No, socks.
I know.
Socks.
What do you think that seems alright?
Don't bother me. Why not?
From the mock-ups, which I'd
I'd
from
have preferred the
actual-
white shorts if I'm honest.
From what I've seen, it looked all right.
Yeah.
I agree. I prefer the white
Yeah.
ones.
I think it's
but,
probably because the third kit's all white and it's quite the white back on the home shirt.
That would
means
be- yeah, I
it's
get
a
that,
bit of a contrast, like. But
To be fair, if the third shorts, if they haven't got green on the sides, it could, if there's any clashes, you might have to slip into the white ones.
wouldn't be the first time. That wasn't meant to sound nearly as kind of creepy as it did either.
Just lost 30% of our viewers there.
That's one left then. I love that, mate.
But yeah, nice to see the
really
kits.
want one of
Get
them.
them all confirmed. Got to be out soon as well with them being in the shops.
Seemed to think that they were going to be released, announced this week, both of them, didn't he? Yeah.
It's got to be in the this week to next is the rumors.
This week to next month.
No, next week.
Got to be soon, I.
Yeah, and then
I mean, it's
in time for the seller weekend for the third shirt.
when's that? The start of August.
First weekend of August.
Yeah.
They'll be having all of them on, won't they? They'll probably change it half time and have them on. They'll be trotting all out then. Like,
there's 3 games, isn't it? Because obviously
Yeah, you've got Friday night, then the ladies play, and then second game for the men's team.
That's what got announced after Monday, the seller tournament, isn't it?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Because do you think it's a bit of a downgrade from the teams that were involved last season?
Well, Girona finished second in the league last season, didn't they? I think they are in the Champions League this season.
Yeah.
Brest have got a great name.
Heavy meals.
Who was it last year? It was Villarreal and Fiorentina.
Yeah.
Probably a bit more kind of established European
Names,
type
yeah.
names, aren't they? But we were we were last season. We were Champions League club last season. We're not this season, so
All right, don't rub it in.
just saying that, you know. I'm looking forward to welcoming my brothers from Brest and Girona, and I hope they enjoy the amenities that the city Newcastle's got to offer.
I'm sure they will.
It'll be a
It was
lovely
good
time.
fun last time when we had the Bilbao boys and girls over.
Yeah.
They frequented in the city's finest ale houses.
And some of the less fine ones as well, I dare say. I know it's nice. It would be nice to do something with Bilbao a bit more often. I think, given that we have got that relationship, that we're a bit.
And it really upset Sunderland fans.
They don't like it, do they? A lot of them really get upset about it.
that was my son's first game, but the Bilbao one, preseason one, and my first game was against Bilbao, obviously. 93, yeah. So it's a nice little touch that was, yeah.
Yeah, no, it was kind of that was the start of a bit of a nice relationship with them. And I think we've only played them once or twice since.
Yeah.
And one was in the last few years. So now it'd be nice to have a bit more of a regular thing with Bilbao because they're a good side as well. But talking about maybe Girona and Brest not being the standard or the size or the names that you want to have. I mean, Bilbao are away from the top 3 or 4 in Spain. Bilbao were always thereabouts. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's more of a name thing. Obviously, I think there's a comment came in saying those both got Champions League football as well this season.
Mhm.
But I think it's probably the namesake, isn't it, that you're looking at? Well, that's what I looked at.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be. You want the lads to be kind of challenged. I don't know what the standard of the Japanese teams that are playing is. Obviously, Hull away in pre-season as well coming up. So you want to be, if those two are Champions League sides, then you're playing against in La Liga as well, which is like one of the better European leagues. You're going to be playing against some good players there. It's going to be a bit of a test. Like so, Atlanta was Atlanta last year? Or was that year before?
No, I think it was them, wasn't it?
So were they involved in the Seller Cup as well last
So
year? Was it
not
them and
3 teams
Fiorentina?
last year? Was not 3 teams last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there was 2 games each day, wasn't there?
I'm sure there was
I
three
thought that
three
was one of them.
games. Because
Could be
one of the
wrong there.
games, like, because the one obviously before the Newcastle match as well, the other teams playing each other, weren't there? If I remember, I didn't actually go, but I'm sure there was 3 teams in total. But sorry, 3 oppositions.
Yeah. I can't remember whose it was. I can't remember exactly. But there was certainly like, yeah, I mean, they were a good standard team. And Brest and Girona are a good size as well. I think there'll be decent games because it's going to be the point in pre-season where Eddie's starting to get his stronger players like together and stuff like
Are
that.
you just trying to say it? Think
was
like figure out
Fioren-
how many times you can say Brest.
Yes.
It was Fiorentina, Nice, and Villarreal last time.
So the 3 teams, yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Chip has just told us that in the comments.
And we were absolutely class. So we'll defend the cup again. We'll be
Was it Nice or was it Nice?
Nice.
Nice Brest.
Nice.
Going back to that third shirt just for a second. I do obviously we know what shirt it's taken off, if that makes sense, like from the previous one. It's a really, really good, if you've seen a concept kit of that one, I honestly think it would be that. Like that's how good I think that is in terms of
Bar the collar.
Well, yeah, of course. I know the collar's slightly different, but I do think it's really, really good. Like, and the white shorts and socks, it's gonna be lush, that one. Like,
What I find weird about the collar is we were talking about in the WhatsApp group last night, where the collar's going to taper towards the back because we've got that weird patch at the top of the back. Even with the floppy collar, that kind of because the Belgian one does it where it recedes up the side. I'm sorry for using the word recedes, lads.
Don't talk about your hair, or
And it becomes just that patch at the back. I think that's a bit weird. That's
well, there's a little surprise on the rear of the shirt that people won't be aware of yet.
the magpie.
No, they're aware of that's in the video as well.
I know, but we're going to make them go watch the video again.
All right,
The chocolate bar. It is the magpie.
It'll look nice, won't it?
magpie,
Yeah.
What's in the back of the away kit in that case? The red and blue, burgundy and maroon, whatever. Is that?
This is where he's going to check the pictures.
a brown ale logo at the top.
I think it's a badge again, isn't it?
I can't remember what the
So from what I can see, it's
The
not the
circular one.
greatest of photos, but it looks like there's some sort of writing on the top of it. I'm
Oh.
not sure what it says on the top of it, but that looks like some sort of scribble, doesn't it? Whereas on the other one, sorry, the people listening to this because it means absolutely shite all to you. Look, so the rest of them are spot on from what we've seen.
So the home one's got the circular badge from
Yes.
like the early 80s.
One's got the circular, the
Third
third
one's
one's
got the
got
magpie.
just the magpie, and it's basically the magpie from the badge. The retro badge. Then you
Oh,
see it's that magpie on the back. The way it looks like it's some sort of text. Don't know what it is. Or
Interesting.
it might be 1892. It could be United. It could be
It looked
God
like
knows.
3 different things to me, though. That
No idea.
we shall see. We'll see. We'll hopefully find out in the next couple of weeks. All right, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
So speaking of famous people, if Chris takes his hat off, it will look like we've got the Mitchell brothers in the room. So speaking of the Mitchell brothers, we've got a new Mitchell at the town. Paul Mitchell.
It was a bit late about that, but it wasn't too bad, was it?
That wasn't too bad.
I'll get there eventually.
I'll give you that one. That was all right.
There's always method in my madness.
Yeah.
Well, I think first of all, I think the most important thing is the Ashworth situation is put to bed. I think I'm sure I said this weeks ago that it was a scenario that needed to end, and we're getting maybe not as much as we originally first wanted. But what £10 million is what's being discussed, isn't it? So I think 10 million's outstanding. And by everything I've been reading, this Mitchell was on their list as well originally to come to this. So we're getting in for nothing.
Yeah. Not for the same job though. Apparently he wanted him to be like director of recruitment rather than.
So it's really, really good. And I think if you look at his model of the players that they've signed at other clubs, if you go to Southampton, he's Red Bull, all of that type of stuff. I don't know. Pushing the pudding on it, but time will tell. I think most importantly for me, though, was that the Ashworth situation's put to bed. That, for me, was the most important thing.
That's got quite a bit of coverage as well, Bestie, with the rumoured compensation packages.
Yeah, I think same as that. I'm glad it's done, but I'm kind of glad that Newcastle stuck to their guns as well a bit and kind of held out for them as much as they could get from him, because if Jim Ratcliffe doesn't want to pay money to bring blokes into the club, then he's in for a shock, like he's in for a surprise. And I mean, it's hard to, when you think of how footballers are valued, it's hard to think how like an executive or an administrative is, but you know, someone like that behind the scenes, because he theoretically, if he's going to do as good a job as he could do, he's worth far more than £10 million, 15, whatever it was, you know, because he could be the catalyst for the restructuring of the club that could lead to the success. And I think it was part of that that he did with Newcastle. He by all accounts was quite a busy boy when he was here, and the way the club's set up now structurally is a kind of as a what do you say? As an organisation's kind of far more bodies in there now doing proper jobs, doing real like it's not just Steve Nixon and Eddie Howe running everything anymore. It's actually people kind of employed to do it, and there's a lot more people there doing it. So, and apparently that was because of him. So I think he's probably done an all right job in the time he was there. He tends not to stick around very long though in his roles. It wasn't at Brighton for that long, was he?
Definitely didn't stick around here very long.
Well, I think if Man United hadn't have came in, then he would have been here for years, right? It's just been one of them. It's just one of them.
If it hadn't been for Ratcliffe buying Man United, I think he would have been.
I think
like that.
Ratcliffe's so self-entitled. It's unbelievable. And you think, imagine if we tried to pinch their director of football at that time. He would do exactly the same tactics as what we did, and we're entitled to do that. That's fine.
Every interview you see with him, he's talking about how nice Southampton were to deal with when they got Jason Wilcox and all that, and because Southampton rolled over, and I didn't have them. We're in we finished above them in the league last season. We are in competition with Man U directly. So
why would you want to lose anyone?
It makes no sense. And as I say, I've not been. I've been very impressed with Ratcliffe so far, in so much that he's making a really shit job of it. Like the women's team are leaving, like just kind of jumping ship completely because of.
Well, he scrapped it, hasn't he?
He's renovating the men's. Apparently, renovating the men's. Something to do with training grounds. So he's got the men now changing the women's bit. The women are in like a porta cabin out the back. So he's obviously seen it as a hierarchical thing where the men's and the men's brings more money and whatnot. But obviously, that's put a lot of noses out of joint. Like Mary Earps is going to PSG. There's a few on about going. So no, if he keeps on dropping blunders like that, then I'm over the moon with it.
Yeah. And Paul Mitchell, with him being technically unemployed before we signed him, the chat is that he's actually been doing a little bit of moonlighting and starting to work a bit early.
Well, that's exactly what you want, but who says Ashworth hasn't been doing exactly the same?
Well, I think we all know he has.
Of course. Yeah, I don't think that means anything, to be fair, but it's probably the same when we got Dan Ashworth. He was on garden leave, but as soon as his feet were under the desk for how small a time it was, those were
his little tiny feet,
his little tiny desk. Work was being done straight away. You do know what it is? You'd be pretty embarrassed if things weren't churning away behind the scenes anyway. If we didn't have a director of football, there'd be somebody doing that job, obviously, albeit not as good as what it should be being done, or having that lead role of it. It's Darren Eales, one that's supposed to be doing everything behind the scenes at this moment in time. But he's coming with a decent reputation, to be fair. Like, and it looks like, yes, we've lost Ashworth, which everybody was annoyed with at first, but it looks like it's a damn good replacement as well. Like,
I'd say so. If Ashworth's like too careless to check who he's sending emails to, and he's gone to Wolves, is that an allegedly the Wolves?
Well, Chip has even said in the comments here that Ashworth has been quoted as saying that when they offered Ten Hag a new deal, he'd been in the job at 72 hours at the time. So he hadn't actually been officially announced at that point. However, he'd been doing the job.
What was it? There was something that he described as well in his quote, the way he described Ten Hag. It wasn't as a manager or as a coach.
I was a partner. Was it a business partner?
But something similar to that. And it read shocking.
It was awful.
Like he says he's the right person for this. It wasn't manager or something.
No.
Somebody in the comments will tell me, but the word he used wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was like an employee, basically.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Yeah, exactly what it was. And I don't know if that's what their new model wants people to refer. I don't know. Like, I agree with you. It read totally wrong to me. Again, going back to Mitchell, I just think that relationship between him and Howe is just so important, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because if that doesn't work and there's any friction between them, which listen, it's difficult to judge too much, but I think Howe was really pissed off towards the end, certainly when he was getting asked in press conference, and he was almost little sly digs every now and again of like, well, what's he done anyway? Like, not like that, but you know what I mean? It was, you know, so
you could tell he wasn't happy.
100%. Yeah. So.
And Mitchell's worked with Graham Jones at Wigan as well before, apparently. So
there's been checking out his CV, have you?
No, I read it on NUFC.com, I think.
He was also at Spurs as well. The season they finished second
Spurs,
and
yeah.
third.
Yeah, because he
Southampton?
Dele Alli and stuff, wasn't Dele Alli?
Dele Alli, Son,
Son
Heung-min,
and
Ida Weld.
somebody else.
You'd
Top-
well,
Trippier.
you'd well done.
Oh, Trips,
He
that's
brought
right.
in
Yeah,
Trips in from
yeah.
Burnley.
That's sweet. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Facts
Yeah.
all over the
It's
shop.
in the Mane one for Southampton.
Hmm?
He's involved in that one, which is,
So
that's
there's a good bit of
amazing.
pedigree there.
Yeah,
over
really is.
his rules.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see how things turn out, given
Wish
the
him all the best.
situation we found ourselves in with not expecting to lose Ashworth as quickly as we did.
How do we learn from that as a football club though, or can you just not? Is it just one?
I don't
of
think
them
you can.
things?
I don't really can. I think there's quite a unique situation where, I mean, we are probably the 7th most attractive club in the UK to be at. It just so happens that one of the clubs that are in that little pocket above had the vacancy and they wanted him. If I think if it happened to any other club outside of that kind of top 6, 7, it wouldn't be a problem. It was just a perfect storm. So I don't know what you can learn from it. There will be something. They'll be behind the scenes go, well, next time if it happens again, we'll have a contingency plan. We'll do this, we'll do that. Maybe they had one anyway that are set in place. I know we're reading stuff like in the Athletic and whatnot that said that they want to get it filled because there's a bit of a void there. But it's not as if the club would have ground to a halt. Like you say, Darren Eales would have done his bit. Sylvester would have done bits and bobs there. So the club would have still had a plan and there would have been.
Well, can't say straight away just by the signings that have been made. There's obviously things happening behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
just buying loads of keepers.
maybe he's maybe a bit knee-jerk. I'm really good because I'm a free agent as well.
You're getting called up.
It's my
Best
time,
you'll be on the list, I tell you.
No,
Well,
I'm on our list.
Jack has been trying to get himself into it, buying all his new gear this week. So
I think people need to hear about Decker's new hobby.
New hobby. Well, it is.
Well,
Actually,
it is.
No, well,
I've
I've decided to come
Settled
out
in,
with play
folks.
football again. Yeah, that's it. I've decided. To play
So
football.
semi-professional, I've heard on a Thursday evening.
So hang on, I've got a question
Call
for
it
Bestie.
whatever you
Right?
want.
So Decker has started to play football again. Well, going to start playing
Yeah,
football.
He hasn't
again.
even started yet.
Through work, right? Obviously, they've got the usual. Was it 14 aside, 7 aside? What was it?
It's 7 aside.
7 aside, right, okay.
14 aside.
Well, I
Good God.
was thinking about the
Massive pitches.
It's one big side.
We might need 14 players to be going on.
They don't like running.
Like those games in the Middle Ages, we.
So 7 aside, and Decker being Decker, right?
Mhm.
What boots has Decker got on board?
I don't know if it's Decker's, it's Predators.
He hasn't kicked the ball yet,
Oh,
and like
it'll be
this hasn't even started
it'll
yet.
be brand new Predators, black, red,
Yeah.
and blue.
No.
Black, red, and white. Sorry,
No, I tried them ones on, but I went for a different colour.
has Beckham got a colour scheme out? Is he?
Well, he hasn't, but if he did, I'd have them. But I went
All
for
the
the
gear,
white
innit?
ones. They remind
All
us
the
loads of the
gear.
Beckham ones. So yeah.
It'll be like his laptop that he bought just to play FIFA on. Oh, sorry, what was it?
He doesn't play on it. He just makes the sides look nice.
Cost a fortune.
Makes
That,
the
you know.
stadium look good.
How long, right? Let's have a sweepstake. How long is it before Decker will put a post on Instagram if he's spreading us
Oh, I'll definitely I'll tag you. Mind you, they're absolutely
in the
gorgeous.
back with
You
his
know.
boots on?
They're laceless as well, and I've never ever worn a pair of laceless boots before. Because when I used to play, they had laces, right? Back in 20 years ago. So anyway, I bought them laceless. Be lush, absolutely lush. Can't wait to put them on.
Friday morning, he'll be legless.
I
Never
might
mind
wear them
laceless.
here next week. I'll have them on next week. I'll come in.
I go on. They'll be on one of these shelves soon. Get like dust.
Probably.
The shin pads.
I'm just worried. My
Socks,
knee.
the
My
lot.
knee's a problem. Like my knees, just we'll see what it's got like. But
Did for all the careers that in the dodgy knees.
I'll just tell you, just run it off.
Is it like an age, like you know how you get the? I know you're not 40 yet, but you know how you have to do a 40s league. Is it that kind of thing? Where
Oh,
it's like
no,
35
no.
plus? Like,
no, it's just lads from work just want to get together and play games at some place.
All right.
And then, but mind you, I've been asked for years for people who are like, oh, will you come and play for my team, blah blah. And I've always said no because I just thought I just haven't got the energy really. But I'm doing the Great North Run, so I thought I kind of be
Exactly.
No,
I'm thinking. Did you stop playing when they stopped making Predators briefly and then start again? Because that spell didn't they for 6-7 years.
Well,
later.
I was saying to Chris, I had every single pair of Beckham boots, right? Every colour, everything.
Oh,
And
the
I got
haircuts to go
got
with
rid
them.
of them all. I got rid of them all. Like, when I moved house and I was like, I'm not going to play again, so I got rid of them. And then I thought I should have kept all them,
You just chuck them out.
I just took them out. Honestly, all of them.
I know, but you don't think it's ever going to be worth money, do you, in the future?
It depends on what it is, really.
Do you know what my mother chucked out, right? And I still haven't figured out. Pokemon cards.
They're worth a bit now. Oh, look, Mark's
Oh,
season,
thousands.
season there.
Oh, really?
Thousands.
Oh,
Like shiny Charizard had a lot of them. A lot of them. They're worth, was it something like 20, 30 grand in that for one card?
Jeez.
Our Taylor had the original Star Wars
£1 million
figures.
if you're Logan Paul.
£1 million, yeah.
Our Taylor had the original Star Wars figures. We should chuck them out the window and that. Like,
You're just not, you're not
Good
you think, no, you? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just not. Well, I went on eBay looking for a pair of the ones I used to have, and they were 500, 600 quid.
Like the accelerators, isn't it?
Oh,
I just love them.
unbelievable.
I love people telling me,
Unbelievable.
So Scotty's in with the important questions here, Decker.
Oh, yeah.
So quick answers, no thinking about it.
No.
Full size shin pad or tiny little midget ones?
It'll be none. I'm not buying any.
Oh, he's
Flair player,
nails, isn't he?
Hello.
Nails.
I'm a full size, I'm like
Full size.
full size
Yeah.
shin pad.
Going to be doing with them stupid
Now,
little things.
a couple of things when you
look like small ones.
when you when you say a full size, back in the day when I was really younger, they used to even have them with the ankle support that had,
Yeah,
you had
I know
them
that.
like circular.
And the
I don't
bits
know
that
what you
would go
call
on the bones.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And then obviously when I split, you had like the more just covering your shin, and then now obviously you've got these.
We have the ones where you used to pull the sock over with the shin pad as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Try and keep them in place and that. Yeah. So I'll not be wearing any here. Unless, well, then again, unless there's some twats playing.
Are you going to cut holes in the back of your socks?
Absolutely not. Never understand that one either.
Best he has to do with his calves.
Yeah, it's mental. It's a massive fad that at the minute, isn't it?
It's crazy.
Let's get
Telling
socks
them
off
this
it.
was
Why don't they
awful.
just make the socks a bit looser?
Exactly. Buy bigger
Because
socks.
Because they are
slip down
quite tight.
probably.
Like football, I mean, I've got big legs. Like football socks, generally speaking, are quite restricted. But it's never been a problem for years. I don't understand it.
It's just I didn't get it. Like because I can't understand. If you cut a hole in that area, I just feel it would be even tighter around the bit that's remaining. So if you cut 3 holes in,
That would do.
Then bit will be tight.
The rest of it clings on for life.
of course it does.
Yeah.
I just don't get that. Though.
It's daft. So yeah,
For
let's get some questions in. We've got a few in there, but before we get onto that, there's been a big transfer rumor this week coming from the land of pizza and pasta. And there's a certain right winger being
Kills.
right winger. Farage on a go again, is he?
Not that very topical in the old general election chat there, but more your out and out pacey man down the wing rather than goose stepping
Give us his name.
fascists.
Oh, you think what Federico Chiesa here?
That's the fella.
Was he linked? Or I've seen him.
No, he's been heavily linked in the.
I think it's
In
been
the
linked
last
since
couple of
around
days.
Latinoli, like rumors
Yeah,
as well. Back in,
I'd seen that he was available, but I hadn't seen anything other than like a couple of fan accounts going. I was like, if we signed him, thanks. I think Man U was the thing I saw on Transfer Market today about him.
Are you trying to be an anti-ITK and to poo-poo these rumors?
Yeah. No, I'm not trying to poo-poo them. I've seen nothing of any substance.
Not one ITK had Ruddy, right?
nah.
No.
In fact, no. Did I not put it in the group?
No,
I had
there,
saw it on
there was a
social media.
few.
Really?
Yeah, because
So
he
weeks
went
ago
on
when-
and
oh,
he did
Rudy.
the
Want to get Ruddy?
Ben Foster podcast, didn't he?
I feel Rob M might have done, you know.
Really?
No, I remember seeing it on social media. I put it in the group saying, "What the fuck's this?" And it was about 2 weeks before it got
really?
announced.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not on Twitter very much. So I just wondered.
Yeah, he went on the
My apologies to the ITKs.
on the Ben Foster podcast and talking about how he'd been released by Birmingham and stuff like that. They hadn't renewed his contract and kind of there'd been a couple of contacts and he hadn't named the club, but he said like there was a surprise and
Imagine
offer
the
that
size
had
his
given-
hard on when he got let go by Birmingham because he couldn't get a contract and Newcastle United after you.
No,
He must have thought,
Birmingham wanted to
this
sign him. So it's the one that extended it.
Birmingham
Wow.
got relegated as well.
They
League
got
One.
relegated, yeah.
The one to sign him. But you're right, Decker. Like,
Oh, wait.
imagine opening, imagine getting that phone call on Newcastle. You'd be like, what?
Because he must
Like-
have been thinking, well, where's me next? Do I stay with them in
Yeah.
League One or who can I possibly go to? And then Newcastle United.
Well, I
in
think
for
all
you.
the interviews that he's done, I think it's clear as day that he's going to go in as the likes of a
Oh, he's just
support,
putting the
coach and
cones
sort
out.
of
Yeah,
role in the
I get
background
it.
as well.
Was he first choice of Birmingham? I mean,
Yes.
he was late.
Yeah.
He was late. 30s,
Played
isn't he?
over 80 games in 2 seasons.
All right, fair play to him.
You're going to do a surprise podcast on him again?
No, but like I've already I've covered it, and do you know what it is? It's probably going to be tough for him going from a starting goalkeeper to dropping down to what, 3rd, 4th choice at this moment in time.
Yeah.
We're going to have this argument again. 3rd or 4th choice, 3rd. We're going to go with 3rd. But
He's
then
ahead of Gillespie.
he's going in as a coaching role, isn't he? That's what he's going to do in the long
How?
run.
How bad is Gillespie then? Christ, might have Keith Gillespie there. Like, if Gillespie can't get ahead of Ruddy, well, give up. Like,
It's Carius.
You're being very disrespectful.
Oh, he's gone, but has he gone anywhere else yet?
Don't think so.
Because
no.
It's after an Italian club, and so he can be back with his missus.
I'd heard that Italy was his favourite destination. Like, I just wondered if Ruddy, because obviously Ruddy's a bit older than Carius, but
Not as old as you.
in English,
He's not as old as you.
no, he's not. I'm 42. He's 37, 30 or something. But he's he's played a lot of football. So I'm thinking, would you rather have an older goalkeeper who's been a bit lower down the leagues, but played 80 games in 2 years, like Chris says, or would you rather have Carius, who's like lush and that, like, but he's only played 2 games.
I
in,
like
like 10
Carius,
years.
you know.
I like Carius. I think the 2 games he played, he was unlucky that Sven Botman was up front for him for Arsenal and Man U. He didn't play badly at
Beautiful
Arsenal
hair,
for
didn't
the
he?
most part.
Yeah, beautiful hair.
Oh, wonderful! He's like Thor.
Yeah, just
I
beautiful.
think
everything.
if you're looking at it objectively, it is a good point. That I think if you're looking at it objectively, it probably is better to have the person that's played 80 games, right? Has to be.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course
has to be.
It's just like how often is that keeper going to get a chance? Because Carrier's getting a chance was blind luck.
No,
Both
it
getting
was.
sent off. Dubravka was obviously
It's cup
he
tie, wasn't
couldn't
it?
cup tie, so because he had paid for
It's
Man United.
not how,
Like how that panned out.
it wasn't just a game; it was a
crazy.
cup final. Well, first
Yeah.
cup
I
final.
would love to
in
know
20
from
years.
last season, somebody off stats somewhere, like how many Premier League clubs had to field their third choice goalkeeper.
It won't be many.
Yeah, it won't be many.
It
It shouldn't.
There's times we had
Especially
four on
in
the
a cup
bench.
final.
There's times we had 4 or 5 keepers on the bench. That still didn't get picked.
I think what's more pressing.
Didn't Gillespie not get one game last season as well?
I think
I
no.
don't think so. Huh?
He played in the preseason game where we got beat like 55 now of that Australian
In
team.
the postseason.
I remember Anna getting in, and I'm going back a few years now.
Posters.
Anna got in and basically just dropped the ball to Ronaldo all the time so he could score on his
I had
debut.
a stinger, didn't I? Lucky.
So I don't. Was he third choice at that point?
Was that
Anna?
not? Was that not Woodman?
Oh, Woodman. Apologise.
Woodman,
Sorry,
no.
I apologise.
And it
Sorry.
came in. It was
Of course.
10 years
Sorry.
ago when he
I meant
elbowed
Woodman.
Diego Costa in the face. That time.
Yeah, Woodman played again. Old Trafford.
Woodman would have been third choice because you had Dubravka, Darlow,
Yeah.
Woodman at that time, I think.
So, but again,
Dubravka, yeah, it would
it's
have been.
still very, very few and far between.
Mm.
I think the most pressing thing, I know we'll talk about Rudy, I joke about Rudy, blah blah blah. It's the new kid from Forest. I think could have an impact because Pope's done his shoulder, and again he might come back and be fine, but he might not.
Mm.
And this lad, has to be better than Dubravka, then. Doesn't he?
I've got a theory for you. Could Nick Pope still be sold?
Oh yeah. I think so.
We know Eddie Howe doesn't really like
Add on a
change
minute.
that much of a section, as in like whole reshuffle of a goalkeeping department. That, but Nick Pope once again, we don't know how he's going to return. He might come back and everything will be fine, right? But could Nick Pope be sold and we go back in for Mohamedashvili?
Possibly. Can you imagine? Like if the only goalkeeper we had from last season was Mark Gillespie still.
Still
Everyone else has gone.
Hasn't even moved up the
He's on,
ranks either.
he's on the drink in Dortmund.
I've got to see. I think that's probably a pipe dream because the
Ipswich are interested.
money that it would take to bring him in, especially after the Euros he's had.
Well, he's got a release clause.
40.
40 million euro, yeah.
I think I get vibes of like Isak, where it might not be immediately on the agenda, but if it came available,
Opportunity.
then because they
Same
said that
with
with
Gordon,
Isak,
wasn't
right? Yeah, and Gordon as well. If the opportunity, because is that signing going to cement improvement in that area? I would say yes if you got him. That, my opinion, that is.
Why do we always like? Do you know if we sign a player, outfield player, we always go, "Oh, we don't know what they're going to be like in the Premier League." But a goalkeeper, I just think that'll be fine. Just because they're doing the same job.
No, I actually think it's the most difficult position now. I really do, and I think
Correct.
without question.
But
I
you
think
would
it's the
say
most
that.
difficult. No, it is it's without doubt the most difficult position because I think the demand and the ask on your goalkeeper is more and more and more.
It's because goalkeepers tend to be more intelligent, more resilient,
Not all of them.
more handsome. You know, they're
Definitely not all of them.
they're a good bunch of goalkeepers. Like so, no, like joking apart, I think it's a big thing which division they're in because in a Premier League, especially lower down, like you look at the Championship League One where a long ball go over the top and you get forwards going in with elbows up and knees up and stuff like that, and the keeper's got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Where they're a bit more protected in the higher divisions and I suppose you go abroad. Like so, I think I've got to have a goalkeeper that fits the country. I mean, I think like Donnarumma, I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper anyway, but he's big enough and strong enough and much of a dickhead that he could hold his own in the Premier League. But he's looked at some keepers and think when Pav came back, Pav had been playing for Brescia for a while and he came back and he just didn't look. I mean,
He went into a coaching role as well, though, didn't he? There was not some random sort of coaching role Pav went into.
I can't remember.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sure he came back. When he came back with his goatee.
Yeah, he's got hair.
And he's slick hair.
There's so many times, even over just recent though, where big money moves have happened for goalkeepers and they have the field.
Yeah, it's a tough position to fill.
It really is.
I know Arsenal.
Yeah,
It didn't happen, did it? He's doing well at Fulham now.
He is
doing
doing
well.
Yeah,
but
he is. Yeah.
yeah, it is a tough one to get right. I mean,
Onana's struggling. Well, then again, he has 1,000 shots a game, but he's struggling.
I think he's a really good keeper. Him, I think it kind of quietened down around him the second half of last season. I think Nana's a good keeper. Again, I think it's a Man U thing. That's similar to Maguire. Man U, not to say Maguire hasn't made mistakes, but I think if he'd been playing if he'd stayed at Leicester, if he'd gone to let's say Newcastle, Villa, West Ham, that kind of, I don't think the spotlight would be as intense. I think he would have been.
I agree with that.
People would think he was a bit better than the
folded bits anyway at that football club before. This was folded bits at that club anyway, wasn't it? So
yeah. So I think Onana's a better keeper than he gets credit for. He has made mistakes. Don't get us wrong, big daft mistakes as well. But I think he'll be fine.
Yeah, there's a few people in the comments think that we will still see some changes in the goalkeeping department. Potentially Dubravka going out and Trafford coming in. Some think that Pope will be sold. And Callum's saying that Mark Gillespie could be moving into more of a coaching role,
He's
being
doing something youth,
involved
isn't
with
he?
the youth squad there.
So we've got two goalkeepers like coaches.
One puts cones out. One does karaoke.
Glorified Cone.
I saw a thing in the Chronicles Instagram earlier, and it was jobs available at Newcastle. And I thought, oh, look at that, just in case one
Was
of
it
those
keeper?
goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper.
And I was working like a match day in the bars and that, like, which I don't want to do.
That's what Gillespie will
Can
do
you
now.
get a job in the corner and serve us a bit quicker?
Not you.
That'd be handy.
I best
Not
I
you.
best be ID.
So if
I'm
they
so young.
came, sorry, the question there about Trafford then, sorry, so sell Dubravka and get Trafford in. Does that mean you'd have Pope, Trafford, the lad from Forest, Ruddy, Gillespie?
5
Best
keepers.
team.
Like,
Best
bloody hell,
I
like,
was going to turn on my gloves.
that's a lot, right?
Adam P at the gates first thing.
You'd have to get some really good new gloves, the best ones available on the market, just in case you need to use them one night a week for about a month.
pay like £200 finger saves or something.
I don't get the problem. Like, I've bought some Lush football boots, like it's fine. It's absolutely fine. You want to see what I paid for my snooker cue? And I've only played that 10 times. I've got a beautiful signed Ronnie O'Sullivan snooker cue.
Well, lads, I'm sorry to have to bring down the mood now, but we're going to have to move on and discuss the Three Lions. England.
What's the matter with them, like?
That's what I start.
It's like being in semi-final again, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I'm going to throw this one here because everyone's giving us the same part. Like, oh my God, it's this, it's that. If we win the semi-finals of the FA Cup, right, and had played dreadfully, I don't think you would give a rat's ass. Like, you wouldn't care. Like, you would just be like, happy days, we're in the semis, like, great stuff. I really
I
believe
think we're at
that.
that point now. Yeah.
What do you mean?
But as in, performances don't really mean anything as long as you get through.
Like the
there's nothing
5 games
wrong
we've
with
played
that,
so far, or 6?
No, but
It's 5, isn't it? And they've all been poor performances. Like the
do
first,
you mean the England ones?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
the first 20 minutes against Serbia was really good. Denmark was crap. I didn't really watch Slovakia or Slovenia because I was away.
Just as crap.
Switzerland I watched on Saturday in the first half. I thought, well, they're playing 20 yards further up the pitch, and I remember them playing.
Yeah.
They're actually trying to get at them here, but then the Swiss seemed to work out. Hang on, they've got no threat.
Yeah.
And then they came back in the game, and the second half was what it was. And that was the best game I've seen them play the tournament. But we're still,
It's not a high bar,
it
though,
was
is
a
it?
4 out of 10 or a 5 out of 10. It was a poor game, like, you know. But they're in the semis, and
Yeah.
and we've never. I've made this point loads of times. Italia 90, you've got the semis. Bobby Robson got knighted, not immediately after, but it happened all that. Italia 90, they played Ireland first game, drew 1-1, it was shit. They drew 0-0 with the Dutch in the second game, it was shit. They beat Egypt 1-0 in the third game, it was shit.
Just.
It took an overhead kick of sorts by David Platt to beat Belgium in the second round in extra time. They got lucky against Cameroon because that Gary Lineker dived a couple of times to win penalties, and they played all right against Germany in the West and semi. And that's a really well remembered. People watch I remember Italia 90 and the lads and all that. And we played really badly for pretty much the entire tournament. But we've got the semis as well remembered. Southgate's done it this time. They haven't played well at all. And people always make the argument they've had easy route to the final. I've seen us get beat off Iceland before. I've seen them struggle to get past Paraguay and Ecuador. Like, we've had easy routes in the past and we've fucking blown it.
We've been fairly close to blowing the last 2 games, though.
But haven't.
It's been
but we're there.
last minute.
If
Last
my auntie had
second
tits,
in the-
Mark, if my auntie had tits.
I think, do you know what it is? I don't know. Yes, we've reached this far. We're only, 90 minutes away from, 90 minutes.
Well, it's 120, and it's
90
not going to be
90 minutes.
We're not going to be normal time.
It's got an extra time in
From
penalties.
getting to another final. And do you know what it is? I think we will get to the final. Like,
Yeah, I do.
I think we will. Probably by the skin of our teeth again. Like, but I think my issue is just how stubborn Southgate is with the team, and like Kane, you can see he's doing fuck all.
He didn't look fit to me.
Absolutely fuck all.
Or he's lost his marbles or something like
And
that.
you can see when the likes of Ivan Toney's coming on. Is that who?
Yep.
Yeah, Ivan Toney's coming on.
Tony, yeah.
You can see a change every single time. And the same when Gordon came on for a handful of minutes. And Palmer, you see, every time Palmer comes
He made
on,
a big
the game
difference on,
completely flips on
Saturday.
its head. And I'm just thinking, come on, I just put the game to bed in 90 minutes.
Well, I think what's mad is obviously he made a change in formation at the last game.
Yeah.
But again, the personnel's questionable, I think, even though you make them
Well, it's
changes.
not pissing you off, though, how like it was ITV, wasn't it? The commentary one was IT? No, BBC.
BBC.
BBC it was
BBC,
on.
yeah, that one.
And they're
Yeah.
going, he's made changes. Well, one of them was forced.
I was fuming with their. I mean, I was drunk, but I was absolutely fuming with their commentary. Like,
It's horrendous, wasn't it?
You think we were watching 1970s Brazil?
well, there's something
going on.
going on there because
it felt like a very generous appraisal at half-time.
the game before, or maybe in the first game it was, Lineker was going to town, right? Absolutely going off it. Certainly about
the third
Kane.
game in, wasn't it?
Massive rant about Kane. To be fair, it was very unlike Lineker, because Lineker just sucks up everything and everything's wonderful, no matter what, right?
Denmark game,
and he absolutely went to town. Then on this game, I couldn't believe the way he was going, not just him, but the way he was going on as well. And I was thinking, it was as if they've been told, don't go in heavy, lads, here, like, because you've done it, you've getting a bit, because they did get bad press, to be fair, right?
I thought exactly the same, to be fair, Decker. It was almost like they'd been briefed to say, "Hang on, you've been a bit harsh here on there. You need to get behind them and
they mentioned it
encourage
on,
put a positive spin
on Gary Neville's podcast, The Rest is Football, that they subtly mentioned it, saying that it was obviously after the back of when Shearer was criticising Kane when he was still in the stadium, going off it, saying that he's just not doing anything. Like, you need somebody up there to support. Then on the podcast that followed that, the one with Shearer, Mika Richards, and Gary Lineker, they still went and they kept on going. Then Kane came out and had a bit of a dig at them, didn't he?
And he was spot on, Kane, as well.
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
saying that they've got to support, blah, 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 blah. Then there was another dig on the back of that from the podcast lad saying, well, we've been in the same position as him where we haven't been playing well and we expect this. Like, we can't sit here and lie and say it's been great when we've got people that listen to this podcast as fans that want to hear the truth, and we're not just going to lie just to keep you happy.
And then they have.
And since then,
they've lied.
So there was one, and Gary Lineker, you could see him, he was trying to find positives in one of the game. It might be in the... It might have been the Slovakia game. So he's trying to find the positives on the back of that. And Shearer and Mika Richards are still saying, it wasn't great. Like, I don't know where you're getting these positives from. And Shearer said, it's kind of like you've had some criticism and now you're scared to get some more. So maybe they've all had a bit of a turn and think probably the same as what we're thinking now, saying, well, we're in the semi-finals now. Like,
listen, and it's a results business, right? And results will change people's opinion. But there's a few things that them were saying. I mean, that performance at half time, they're saying, God, I honestly listened to them. I thought, are we 5-0 up here? Am I watching a different game?
It was definitely better. It was better than
right.
It wasn't.
But I don't think we didn't have a shot on target.
Yeah, that's all I was kind of.
We never tested the keeper.
Higher up the field, so why have we not still had a shot?
They were banging on about Foden as if he was literally like Gaza or something. I'm like, I'm sorry. The highlights they showed you of him, he was coming deep and passing sideways. I'm like, what? Is this the highlight you're giving us here of what he's done? I just thought it was very, very kind. And I thought as if they've been briefed that he's went to town too much. We're getting a little bit of heat here from certain people. Let's just...
It was strange because
like.
You're right that they put all the spotlight on Foden as if he was God's gift in that game. But it was Menu that had changed it in the centre midfield. He was picking the ball up, and every single time he got that ball, he wanted to go forward.
For an 18, 19-year-old, he's been great. Really good player.
Like, he looked great, and he didn't really get any plaudits on the back of it. And I'm going, you're just doing the same as what Southgate's doing, where he's got these best players and trying to put all the praise onto them. Foden was stinging the place out at times again.
That's the problem I found with this. I like Southgate as well, but I think it probably is time now, like at the end of the tournament at least, where you've got like when he played the first few games, Trent and Declan Rice in the middle of the park together. Trent's a fantastic footballer. I would have played him right wing back on Saturday. He had a trip for me. But technically, you're not getting the most out of Declan Rice there either. There's been loads of criticism of his displays, and I think rightly so. But he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not the kind of bloke to sit in front of the back four. Really, probably Bellingham's better suited than that. But Bellingham's obviously Bellingham's been sticking the players out for a lot of the tournament. But they're in the semis, it's weird. I think it's been a really good tournament on the whole. You look at the games that have been played. Something like Georgia were great to watch. Turkey were good to watch. Pretty much I laughed that every game in the tournament was really good to watch, apart from our group. Every single game in our group was shit.
I think what I would say, other than Spain, and I will actually to say Germany as well, I don't think some of the bigger sides have actually done very well. France have been horrendous.
It's the underdog.
The underdogs have been exciting, but they've just been pipped.
It's been an underdogs tournament, but it's England, France, Netherlands, and Spain. And I was kind of almost.
It's been the look of the draw somewhat as well, though, with all them big teams on one side, really.
That's kind of almost made the point I was going to make there to say that out of the 4 teams in semis, Spain are the only ones I think have looked pretty good all the way through it.
Very good.
France
Spain and Germany.
France have scored.
They just got drawn against each other, didn't they?
France haven't been great. France have scored 3 goals and 2 of them were own goals.
They've not won a game in 90 minutes. Have they?
Been poor, like
the Netherlands haven't been. They've been all right by their recent standards, but when you think of Netherlands, you think of like the Dennis Bergkamp teams, and
They've been on a transition for a while, though, haven't they?
20 years. Or so.
I think them getting to the
Bit harsh.
semis for them is that is a good achievement.
Their fans will be looking at the same as what our fans are looking at it.
Yeah. I think it's going to be
France
really
as well.
tough. Really tough, I think, on Wednesday.
I think we'll beat them. I think we'll get the final, and I think Spain will win quite handsomely.
If honestly, Spain's team, man, it's beautiful, isn't it? Though, when you look at it, because they play the way that I like, they've got loads of pace out wide.
Yeah,
that Williams and what's he called? Tell Yamal. What's he called? Yamal. He's unbelievable. He is unbelievable.
I think
every time he gets on, he's Yamal.
It does sound like Yamal, doesn't it, all the time.
If that is the final, right? Let's say the final, Spain versus England, right? I think you'll probably see a different approach from Spain because yes, they'll go for it, but we're quite happy just to sit and just defend for a while.
We're pretty solid. As a goal,
that's what I mean.
And we're hard to play against.
I would agree with the one thing I will say in defense of Southgate, or whoever you want to criticize. Everyone's thought going into the tournament was defensively were dreadful, right? Yeah. Everyone kept saying, defensively this, defensively that. And do you know what it is? They've actually done very well defensively in the long run.
It's funny because Kane's been stinking the players out up top. There's been no striker there.
He's been poor, but he still scored a couple. And that's the kind of thing that goal against Denmark. It was just, it was perfect for him.
There was one against. It was a Switzerland game, and I think it's Saka that puts the ball in the box, and there's just nobody there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like nobody.
Well, I think one of the big criticisms of Southgate over his time in England has been how he's reacted to going ahead against Croatia in the semi in 2018 and Italy in the final a couple of years ago. So what we need if we get the final is not to score early, basically. Draw them on, we'll hope they make a mistake, then maybe get one in the second half.
It was early that was scored against Italy, wasn't it, in the final?
He was the first minute.
Scored a volley at the back post.
It was the same against Croatia the last time when
the free kick was 20 minutes in.
We're just. But it's a funny one, because you listen to Foden come out and he said, I'm really annoyed with the crap that Southgate's getting because he tells us in training, we'll have to be playing higher up. We have to be doing this. And us as players aren't delivering what he's asking. So you're like, I don't believe Foden would come out that if Southgate wasn't saying that.
I still think Southgate's got to be responsible for if the players aren't doing it. Southgate's got to work out why.
No,
it's been happening that often.
Make a substitution, impact the game rather than just standing there in the technical area staring at the pitch.
Remember last week when you said he didn't impact the game with us? The subs that came on that won the game.
That was funny, wasn't it?
I'm still.
And then after he made the subs on Saturday, we scored within like a minute. I think.
I think there was it. No, it wasn't Saturday. It might have been the one before. So. Had played absolutely horrific, right? And they went in at half time and he hadn't made any changes. And my honest thought was, well, you may give these lads 10, 15 minutes in the second half and basically see them at half, get out there and sort of, and it was ticking the 80 minutes and there was still no substitutions. And Gordon, I cannot believe, I don't know if he's lost confidence because he fell off his bike or something, but why is he not playing it? Why is he not getting
confidence?
There's a question in Broad.
I think Southgate's lost confidence in him.
I like Isaiah, but he's not done well.
Can't ride a bike.
Well, Brody's sent in a question on that very subject. So, and he's pointing to the stills that have been going around and the footage of Gordon just before the extra time and the penalty shootout at the weekend, and he looks really distant from the group and quite dejected. And is he like a bit of a broken man, or are we just reading too much into it?
You're reading, he's buzzing. He was buzzing at full time.
You can read a lot into a picture with no context applied to it. Like, I think it's just a photograph of someone who's it's just someone who's looking at you. You might have just coughed and sneezed.
Do you know what the way I've been thinking about it, right? The less game time Gordon gets and the chance, I'm saying prove himself, he doesn't need to prove himself because we all know he's a great player. He's going to come back to Newcastle even more determined.
If he goes at Newcastle.
Well, that's the next rumour. That's the next rumour. But I think he'll still be our player next
season. I really hope so.
I think he will be. It's shite if he's not, but if he is, well, when he is, just like last season, he'll have a point to prove.
Yeah, I think so as well. Like, he's definitely deserved to get more than 4 minutes.
Something like that.
Out of the 5 games so far. Certainly deserved more than that. As I say, Isaiah, when he's come on, hasn't really done a great deal for me. So I think, well, if you're going to make it, why not try Gordon? But I think now we're in the semis. He's going to stick what he knows. And
is it because Southgate's too scared to go that attacking? And that's what you're going to get from Gordon.
He's scared because as is a good attacking winger as well. I don't think he's.
He is, but even when he came on at the weekend, because I like him, but I think he was really reserved when he came on.
I don't think he's been great at all since he's come on in this tournament. The games I've seen that he's come on. Obviously, as I say, I've missed pretty much 2 whole games, but I've not been particularly impressed with him at all this tournament. But at Palace, I think he's been fantastic.
I feel when he comes on, he doesn't actually know what role he's playing. I find he's picking the ball up in areas that I wouldn't expect. When I watch him for Palace, and I'm not a Palace expert, but when I watch him, he's playing a totally different game. I feel when he comes on for England. Now, Tony, to flip it, I did want to mention his penalty.
He's a cheeky little bastard, isn't he?
That is insane. Like
Giving the keeper the eyes.
It's outrageous. That.
He's never looked at the ball once after putting it on the ground. I mean, I just that's just incredible. Like, and given the and I have to give very much credit here. We've been criticised for years of how bad our penalties have been. I remember, that the pressure they were under, them 5 lads that took them were just outstanding.
Especially when Kane's off the field as well.
Well, to that point, what was your thoughts on the way Kane kind of became injured? Was he injured or did he bottle it?
So Dr. Walker back again, is it?
No,
I think he's bottled. He gets pushed into the
lands on
dugout, doesn't he?
Lands on a cool box, doesn't he?
I would never ever.
I think it's a camera box.
He's fucked at that point anyway. He's fucked well before. He's been fucked before the tournament. I think it's just that long in the game. He's dead. He's absolutely dead.
So he bottled it.
No, I think he's dead on his feet. I think he's probably. I think Southgate's probably realised he's dead on his feet. Kane's realised that, and they both just went.
Kane is.
Are you playing devil's advocate, or are you generally suggesting that Harry Kane's bottling taking penalties?
I'm more leaning towards the bottling it.
Seriously?
Wow. Yeah.
Have you watched Harry Kane ever?
I've watched. Yeah,
but took 2 penalties in the World Cup semi-finals, quarterfinals a couple of years ago.
Kane's got. I know people might not like him, but listen. Kane has got so much experience, played in massive games, scored goals in pressurized moments. He ain't bottling out like
there's no way Harry Kane's gone. Oh, I don't fancy taking a penalty, but
I tell you who also has got balls the size of your head is Saka. Like Saka, given
fantastic penalty,
it really was, and given the way, and I know he scored penalties since then for club and country, but again, he must have been thinking walking up. He's a young kid still. Walking up thinking, I've been here before in a really, really pressurized moment.
Could you do it? Could you be in that situation as a professional footballer? Could you want to I get first, second, third. When it gets a 4th and 5th penalty taker, could you do it? Because you need nerves of steel for that. Like
I couldn't do it this Sunday morning.
Like I
always like taking penalties. Like I used to take penalties.
But I think that's
on that stage.
No, but that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I've never played in a semi-final at Euros, but
that's what's quite incredible. And that's what I think a lot of people sitting at home they don't think that, do you? Like I've played in finals and I've scored penalties and I've been shitting myself. There's not a TV camera on site, man. Like, do you know what I mean? And I'm a nervous wreck then. So God knows what them, because you would imagine that a lot of players going to collect a ball and walking, must think, if I miss this here, can you forget about feeling for a second that's the social media side of it, the abuse you get from fans, like
everything.
It must be unbelievable.
But that's all of the thoughts that if you focus, you put out of your mind. You're walking up to that spot.
You can't
100% confidence in your own abilities that you're going to score that goal. Because if you're not, you're missing.
Yeah, but I can argue that as well. Saying the goal, I'm going to save this.
I get what you're saying, Mark, but it'd be very difficult for them not to think that.
But you even got pros. You've got I think it was Rio Ferdinand in the studio afterwards saying you can train penalties all you want, but you can't replicate that pressure. And these are blokes. This is like blokes that play Champions League finals, win Premier Leagues, win cup finals, this happening, and they are saying that you can't replicate the pressure. You can take a million penalties in training, but you can't. That feeling from the penalty spot. I remember
people. I absolutely agree. By the way, and people never look at that from the keeper's angle, do they? They always just say that the taker. It's never the same pressure for the taker. Like I don't believe for a second in training that goalkeeper is anywhere near as pumped up to save it as would be.
That wouldn't be.
Holland's keeper on Wednesday.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
Never going to be the villain in that situation, though, is he? Keeper's always going to be.
I know, but what I'm saying though, he'll be giving it more to try and save it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. A keeper on a you're playing 5-side with your pal. A game like you played a cup final or whatever.
Yeah.
In a local league or whatever it was. A keeper's not going to have anything like the adrenaline. And it does make a difference. It does kind of. You're right. No, you're dead right.
On both sides of the coin, your adrenaline, your pressure. You pick the wrong corner. You maybe give it too much. You're scared to blast it because it make hour. I get all of that, but also the keeper as well. If he's playing training on a Wednesday, is he really giving a shite if he saves it or not? I guarantee you would be in the semi-finals.
You would definitely score with them Predator boots on.
100%, wouldn't it?
Twice.
I'll tell you how many I scored on Thursday.
You'd score 2 goals from one penalty with them boots.
But that was really good. That was, and if you go back though, like I mean, I know you're saying it's miserable. We've got to tap with the 3 lines and stuff. Like, are you excited that they're in the semis? Are you happy they're in the semis, or are you just like shit? I've got to watch.
Yeah, of course. I'm happy that they've got through. I do want to see them succeed, but it's been painful to watch the majority of the time. But the important thing is the result. But as you're sitting through there watching it, we've been very, very lucky to get to this position.
If you're going to be happy with a semi midweek, then I mean,
You're lucky to get them on weekend.
Multiple times.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm absolutely.
in our time of life, lads.
I'm thrilled.
Any semi's a bonus now.
I'm thrilled.
So one last question on England. Obviously, you mentioned, Bestie, the thoughts of Southgate's probably away at the end of this tournament.
Yes, I think. Did you have more to add? Sorry, Mark. I was going to start answering that without.
Well, the question is on the back of the thought of that he is away.
Who's coming in?
Could Eddie be offered the job?
He could be offered the job. Yeah. I would hope that he doesn't go. But old Mitchell's worked with Poch before, hasn't he?
It was mentioned on Gary Neville's podcast, wasn't it? I'm
Yeah.
sure it was brought up about Eddie Howe going for the England job.
The problem with Eddie Howe getting the England job, or pretend, and this is obviously all totally hypothetical, like. There's a Craig Hope or Luke Edwards who says that he's the best Monday to Friday manager in the league. An England manager doesn't need to be a Monday to Friday manager. An England manager's got to be in that analogy, the Saturday manager. He's got to be the manager that takes care of the 90 minutes in the very brief time that he's got with the squad over the international break. Eddie Howe, one of the big things with him, I'll go back to when Gordon signed, when Isaac signed, it took weeks and weeks and weeks for him to get the fitness required to play for Newcastle at the time because of how intense we were, and obviously the injuries that we had this last season. People said, is that because of how Newcastle play? I don't necessarily think that Howe would be a good fit in that regard. I think he's a great manager. I think he'd have a good go at it. I think he would probably, and I'm saying this as someone who likes Southgate. I think he's a very decent bloke and all that. But he's a limited manager. If Southgate got the Man U job, as was rumoured, I'd have been delighted with that because I think he'd have been terrible. But I think, again, being a good club manager and being a good international manager aren't necessarily what Capello with England. The squad Capello had with England, and he couldn't get a tune out of them. You know, the 2010 World Cup, we got pumped by Germany in the second round, and we were very lucky to get out the group stage. So I would hope that it wouldn't be Howe. I think it probably is time. Southgate's had 2 cycles now, and he's, like, out of the 4 tournaments, we've got 3 semi-finals. So I think it's very, very commendable. You know, the football hasn't been very good, but that, given that we've been to 2 semi-finals in the entire history of England football before then, I think it's worthy of note. But as to who would come in, I don't know.
Third most successful England manager
Behind
in the stats.
Alf Ramsey and
who was the
Sam Allardyce won that one game he had.
that's a
Is he
very,
third?
very
Is he
small
third?
sample size.
I thought he'd be second. Like,
Yeah,
Because
came on
I think So Bobby was
Bobby was
getting hounded out.
fourth.
was he not? You're
He
left.
was getting
Bobby was
hounded out
fourth.
until he went to PSV immediately after. He was the hated Bobby.
And I think I just want to refer. It hasn't been, the football has been shite. And I feel like I'm Southgate apologies, yeah. But I can't recall anyone saying that when everyone wanted to wear a waistcoat and everyone was loving him and everyone thought everything was great then. So, all right, this tournament might be bad, these last 4 games. Or perhaps you could even say some of the qualifying's been poor as well, right? But certainly when the Wembley Euros that we should have won, right? We were fantastic. We beat Germany and that was brilliant, man. Like, I can't recall anyone complaining them were bad games. Like, I just think it's more so this time.
At the time, I can remember a little bit of it then. Like,
Well,
certainly the last
maybe.
World Cup.
I would say that the Euro final, even I was very just disappointed in the approach after taking the lead. But I don't know. I just think sometimes.
Do you think it's because there's been a lot of games in quick succession? Yes, we've got the Euros tournament, but then we had the 2 friendlies just before that, and both of those were shocking as well.
Well, the final warm-up game was horrific against Iceland. I mean, that was as bad as it could get as a send-off to go to the tournament. And you think, and again, you could coin that and go, it was awful and you've lost 1-0 of Iceland, but we'll get to the semis. I think people would say absolutely mortal, to be honest. But we've done that, and fair enough. And credit to the players, and I get I totally agree with what Mark's saying there. Took a last gasp overhead from Bellingham to force extra time, etc., and then Kane's winner, who getting loads of shit, but he went and scored the winner. It's a funny game. Isn't it?
I think that's the thing with international football, though. It oftentimes is made up of. You do get wonderful team performances. I think about France in '98 and stuff like that, but it can be those individual moments.
100%.
And like I say, you look at David Platt against Belgium. I made the example, and that was the chip from Gascoigne. Were quite lucky they'd hit the post. I think we had as well. Like the game against West Germany in the semi that year when the ball came over the net, had that one chance, bang, it's in the bottom corner. international football, I find, tends to be made up of those kind of moments. You've got it. And I think that's what
You think
Southgate...
of Germany in U96 when I hit the post and Gaza tries to get there.
Yeah.
Just
little things like that. Gascoigne against Scotland, Scotland U96, England were very good.
Yeah, no.
And against Scotland, you got one moment of genius. We'll win the group, and we were off against Spain in the second round again. So I think I've been trying to work out who the best manager would be, and I don't think Howe. I think Howe's more into kind of getting the players really well conditioned and very well disciplined, but that takes time. That isn't something you do with a week's worth of management. So you've got to have someone who's technically brilliant and a really good manager, someone who you'd run through the walls for them. So Kevin Keegan, in that regard, obviously, the technical side of it, certainly not. But someone he's going to get them right. I'm going to play for.
You want Keegan back?
No. But he even struggled at the England role as well.
So because he was good at that part of it, but technically, by then, I mean, with Newcastle, it was kind of the whole.
I think the ship sailed now because he's just got a job. Mourinho would have been unbelievable. Because he's not spending enough time with the players to piss them off. But I believe, honestly, truthfully,
I agree.
I think in tournament football over 6 games or whatever it is you've got to do, I can't think of many better other than obviously Pep, of course.
Yeah,
but I think in regards to this mentality of us against the world, no one creates it better than Jose. The problem you've got with club football is there's so many press conferences, so many games. Eventually, that cycle burns out.
Yeah,
but
over
a short sample size. About his technical approach and tactical approach?
No. The player, I'm telling you, the players would love to work for him, and they'd run. Honestly, you'd be amazing. I think
Mourinho got a lot. I think I was at Chelsea and stuff like that. He always got a lot out of it, even though they were defensively resolute. He got a lot out of the 4 players as well. I think of Drogba, Duff.
He got slagged off at Real Madrid and they scored the most goals any Spanish team's ever done. And he got slagged off for being defensive. Like he can be attacking, but that ship sailed now with them going to Fenerbahce, and he's obviously going to now manage my mate, Maxi.
Yeah, there was a comment about that earlier. Him going to Turkey. Good job I hate Fenerbahce. Besiktas. It's my Turkish team.
Is it? Really?
I've not really got it.
Well, I'm going to Turkey in August.
Who was a Turkish team?
Me.
Well, he goes to Turkey.
I'm probably going to host that race. I've Fenerbahce had some nice shirts.
Kebabs.
We'll all do, to be fair.
I used to like Hadji, so I didn't mind Galatasaray when I was a kid, just because of Hadji. But then now
I was a bit scared of them.
Now Fenerbahce's Maxi's gone to Fenerbahce. Well, there you go.
That's your team.
Every single
You'll have a shirt. The age game next week, Maxi.
Oh, that'll be me shirt for Thursday.
If he signs, you'll be able to get one when you go on your holidays.
Yeah, well, it's just rumoured again. It's in the minute. So
strong rumours.
When I go on my holiday next month, I'll try and get a shirt. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Baz has just put in the comments there one that I've heard from quite a few people, which could be a goer because he's out of work at the moment. A certain Mr. Clippity Clop.
Not happening.
Nah. For England.
Moving on, not happening.
I don't think so.
He didn't want the day-to-day pressures of club football. Could international be the...
I think he'd take the Germany job. He wouldn't take us.
Not a chance.
I had a Graham Potter again the other day.
Graham Potter, yeah. Graham Potter. Probably a sensible one for me.
I know how we could do it. I've got loads of spare time on the hands. Mark Gillespie.
Steve Bruce.
I can Brazilian.
right on cue as well. Chap as Steve Bruce.
I tell you what, if Howe wasn't manager of us, he'd be the one.
Yeah.
If I was
it's an easy link, isn't it?
From the outside, if he was manager of Villa, say, right, and doing a great job, just say like what Emery's doing there now, and it was Howe, I'd be like, get him in England, I would. You know what I mean?
But would you rather it was an English manager?
Oh no, it doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me. It's like it's a bit. I don't know. Because some people are.
Yeah, we've had a fair few now, haven't we?
I would say with foreign managers, they haven't really worked well. The Capello pissed everyone off. Sven didn't have a clue really. As much as I love Sven and that Lazio team, but but it doesn't mean it's not going to work in the future. And I have no problems at all. No. Back in the day when everyone used to go, but they don't know what it means, and this nonsense. The game has moved on.
Yeah, they want to win. Doesn't matter. If they're from the country, they just want to win that game.
Yeah.
Right man for the job. Or woman.
Would you want to Scott?
Wouldn't bother us.
No. I mean, there's not going to be.
There's not going to be any Scottish.
I was just thinking,
Is John Carver turned Scottish now?
Which Scottish was Steve?
I don't actually know. Yeah,
he's Scotland manager at the minute.
Hasn't done a very good job there, right? Hasn't he?
He's gone now. He's got pumped and Stoke down here.
Not many kicking around.
What I will say, they've got a tough job on them though. They really have. Where Southgate goes, and I know they might not. People don't like him, but I'm not really sure we can get.
That's why Howe's an easy link, isn't it? So.
Well, he's an Englishman performing well in the Premier League, so it's always going to be. And probably the only. I'm trying to think who else there is.
I tell you what,
in the top half.
No.
David Moyes.
Yeah, I think he'll get the Scottish job. But I was thinking David Moyes because he's out, and he said he wants to get a job that's not. He wants to still be involved in football, but not as full on as club football. So he's almost
You're not getting a Scotsman managing thing this
Steve,
year.
look,
I think he'll get the Scotland job now.
I don't know if you will, because Steve Clark leaving, is he?
He's
Yeah,
stunned
a
if-
lot
I'd be
of
stunned if
lot
they
of
didn't get
Scottish
rid of him
fans.
after that. But then again, he got them qualified in the first time in 1,000 years. So
Right, come on, what's the next one? I want to order a garlic bread special.
I had one. I had
So-
one on Saturday.
As ever, our good friend and loyal member, Mr. Josh Stockton, has sent us in a question and a little cheeky gift. And it's one for you, Bestie.
All right. Oh, Josh.
What, the gift or
Not the gift, no, the gift we've got to share.
It's a semi on
amongst the
Wednesday.
channel. Thankfully, Josh donated last week as well, so we've been able to move back into the studio and afford it for another month. So this one,
People
is-
believe that, you know. People keep believing
have a clue. He literally didn't have a clue. He's
No, that's true. Like, I
we did it at home because these two had COVID.
both he did.
I didn't have COVID.
Yeah, did. You 100% did.
I did. I was struggling with it.
Mate,
So-
you should have seen my eyes. Like I was laughing for sort of 10 minutes before we press record.
You will have to show him that at the end, like before we go. It's absolutely hilarious. His eyes.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Scott's in the naughty books.
It was like Mark had farted in his face. His eyes were streaming.
It's like Bestie's breath in my face the week before.
So Josh asks you, Bestie, as the goalkeeper of the podcast,
Mm-hmm.
what is your favourite England goalkeeper kit?
Ooh.
So Josh goes on to say that his is the light blue one from 2002, 2003.
Yeah.
It's also good to see you back.
Thank
He's
you,
missed
Josh.
you.
Not so much your
Yes.
front.
It's that lovely bum you've got.
It's weird. I've got a very nice bottom for a big boy, actually.
That's what she said.
That you've really thrown, is it? It's weird because the keeper tops at the minute are quite jazzy enough, but I just templates. Like I when the Newcastle one, it says it's like there's Spain have got the same one. I think there's loads of clubs got the same one. The same like with England keeper top. It's just the Nike templates, or Liverpool have the same one next season. And it's a bit crap now. Whereas back in the day, and I know the one that he's referring to had that kind of collar within a collar. That one, I remember Paul Robinson, I think, wearing it. I mean, it's hard to look past like the '96, the
Two
one.
standout ones
Or
for
the
me.
yellow one.
Yeah, there's that one. There's
Same
red,
one.
was the red one and the yellow one.
There's the red, yeah, the red
Red
one
one.
for me.
The 98 was like a gold coloured one. It looked like quite like plastic. I thought it would have been really heavy as well. I remember when I was a kid,
Come on, man.
I had an England annual. English do like annuals in the early 90s.
Lovely.
There was one with a picture of just amazing. Not David Seaman.
Isn't that unbelievable?
It's
really, it's a
two
really big
for
colour
me.
on that
Two
one.
Seamen. Two Siemens.
Steady on. But it was one of Peter Shilton in
Loads
like
of semen.
Semis.
Peter Shilton in like it was just an Umbro Pro. It didn't have England badge on it. I might have done, but I had like
The green one.
it was like zigzags, black and like limey yellowy stripes. That was class.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Absolutely.
That's the one I was referring to, the yellow one.
Yeah.
You have to show them the camera as well.
2006 World Cup was a 2006 World Cup. They had a version of the shirt. It was like the dark blue, but had the cross on the shoulder. That was alright as well. Oh no, I've got it. I know which one it is. Decker's got these.
Beauty. Lovely, that one.
I'll tell you what my favourite one is. And it's a total, it's a plain green top. When they brought out the 2010 kits, remember the Umbro, tailored by Umbro stuff? And it was just the white polo shirt with the red Umbro and the kind of
yeah.
The keeper top was dark green, and it was just dark green, had I think a green Umbro logo, old fashioned England crest on the chest, and it was perfect. It was just I love a green keeper top, and this was just green. There was nothing else to it, it was just green. It was
I think
absolutely
all
beautiful.
keeper tops should be like that, where the crest should be central.
Really?
Mm.
I was worth for a spell that
I like a central crest on
the sunset
keeper
one
top.
and the
I think it's because in national football you don't have the sponsor. So
Yeah.
it just
Yeah,
it
for
fits
the-
better.
I get what you're saying.
Do you ever
Yeah.
have that spell where they used to move the manufacturer's logo at the shoulder?
Top on the
So
shoulder.
they put a number on the chest
Yeah.
plates there in the middle.
So we have the red cross, wasn't it, up there? And they had the
That-
big
that-
Umbro there as well.
That year, and then they had
Yeah.
it for a little while. That yeah,
Wayne Rooney kit, that one.
it was 96.
It just goes to show that the 1990s and
Oh, yeah.
early 2000s were
Jump out.
absolutely the peak of football kit design.
Thing is, though, it's one of those things where it was always better than the 90s when everyone it's just because that's how old we are.
Yeah.
But no, that one 2010 for me, just plain green, nothing else to it. Lovely dark green. Special mention to the there was one that was red. It was 2012, I think, and it had loads of little crosses and Georges on it. There was a green version of it as well.
I quite like the Pickford one from a couple of seasons ago, the yellow one. That one was quite nice.
I think what when you look at goalkeeper tops now, they're like just like t-shirts, they're like short sleeve, like Pickford's is just like a t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when you're looking at these were you could see them, you
Siemens,
know what I
the
mean?
like
Padded ones.
denim kind
Padded,
of
oh,
was
aye.
massive,
You know what I
wasn't
mean?
it?
That's
I
what
was
I'm
talking to Pav when I was making I was involved in a project a few years ago, as yet unfinished.
How did it go?
I was talking to Pav in National Steve Yates' office in Newcastle, and we bonded over how heavy keeper tops got in the 90s when it rained. Because he was saying, like, well, he had a picture of him, and he was wearing one, I think the silver and blue Adidas one. And he says, mine, like, fucking heavy. I said, well, Pav, I'll tell you what, it's way better in the morning. And I was like,
Hairy or heavy?
but well, I was like 12 as well. Like Harry and the Hendersons. But Pav was, me and Pav had a moment. Look where it got him.
Fucking hell.
I got him a fantastic career at Newcastle United.
It did. I love Pav, mate.
Was fantastic. But we are, of course, drawn to a close now. We have been going for an hour and 15 minutes.
It's too long.
Not quite, almost.
Now I've got half
10
an hour
seconds
again.
short.
And that guy hasn't responded to my message. No,
Terrible, terrible. But thank you for joining us. It's been a blast. Yet again, without having anything to talk about in this pre-season, we've managed to finish 75 minutes.
It's the longest one.
And done.
Mark, I've got a question.
Oh, had on.
No, it's a Newcastle. When does preseason start? Does anyone know?
27th July. No.
27th, is it? Just
Not the whole game. Well, are you including the
like preseason, like
trip
training?
to Tokyo?
I'm not the training. I'm just buzzing to see that.
Historically, it's normally the beginning of July, isn't it?
about now,
But
isn't it?
obviously with the Euros ongoing and stuff
Bruno
like
is
that.
on his way back now because they got.
Oh, they get bent out.
Copper.
They got beat penalties, wasn't it? Yeah. But yeah, I'm just buzzing to see the lads in the new training kit and all that. Like, and like, not obviously on the socials, they kind of go 98 that one. They kind of do the big thing about the players coming back, and it's also non-international, so it's like
Chicken Murphy.
Yeah, bless him.
My legs are golden now. I'll get a break. Well, God doesn't mean need one, but bless him, he will.
Yeah, well, season starts on what, the
Normally early August, isn't it?
9th?
11th of August? No, it's not 11th.
No, the
Second-
be the
it's not- it's normally
17th.
second week in
About the
August, isn't it?
17th-ish. Because the EFL
it is.
starts on the
It's the
9th,
7th, 'cause I'm
9th.
doing.
It'll be 15th, something like that.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I've got something on in August that it happens after my first week of doing me something.
Well, we can tell afterwards, mate.
No, I can't. It's something weird, but I honestly don't know if I'm allowed to mention it here or not. So I've got
Well, that's it, yeah.
17th.
So after.
So the 27th of July, that was the first pre-season friendly
It feels quite
that
nice.
I'm seeing on here.
So yeah, so I'm working on them coming a month before, probably next week.
A month before.
before
the
season
season starts.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's got to be
So,
soon.
yeah,
like,
I
hasn't
thought
it?
you meant
probably
before the
back
first
next week.
Yeah, they've got to be.
Yeah.
Got to be.
And then obviously the international lads will have another couple of weeks off, and they'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay, God, cutting it tight for the start of the season.
It
Well, I
feels
guess
like-
they're going to be fairly
I think
fit. You would have thought.
I dare say there'll be a plan.
Right, can we wrap this up? Because I've got like 27 minutes now.
Where you
We're
going for it?
about to
Where you
go
going for it?
until
I'm just gonna
he
order
started.
it, but like,
Oh,
asking
so I
questions.
ordered it. Sorry, I'm going to
He's-
continue
look,
talking. So I ordered it. So it should at 10 o'clock. So I ordered at 20 to 10. They're normally all right. The fuckers of the week took me money, didn't deliver the bastard.
Oh,
And they
No one
refunded it a
went
couple of
down
days
that.
later.
No.
Hell on.
Like, but they didn't tell us that it wasn't coming. It just didn't turn up.
I had a look on
Gutted.
Saturday. It looked
Yeah.
awful.
Is Amy not in?
Yeah, so I'm going to order it in a minute. Yeah,
That's just
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't want to be causing out worse than a cold garlic bread special, man.
I mind the following morning. Like,
Yeah.
well,
yeah,
and
like,
the painted as well. The paint was in the box and the kebab out.
Chuck it in the air
I think
fryer.
a Ben is 3-month-old.
Not the kebab meat. Don't put kebab meat in the air fryer.
Just try it
Ruins
out, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just shrimp
Put it in the microwave. Your garlic bread, your
Stop
chips
now.
straight in the
In the fryer.
air fryer.
How long for?
Meat in the microwave.
Is that what you call
Microwave.
it?
You want to shriveled up?
That's my pet name. But no, we've had a good fun. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed what you've heard and seen, do think about subscribing and becoming a member if you can afford to, and indeed you want to. If you don't, just keep watching and listening at random. We like it. Give her a thumbs up, like the video, give her a little review as well if you don't mind. It all helps. Thank you and good night.
Bye.
Right.